veins, I've been driving this train. Years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play, and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la 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 la. And I'm up again. I got tired eyes, need a cup of blend. That's right, in the AM, that's my only friend. No light, just the sun coming up on the horizon. I lose track of time, yeah, I move fast and climb a new class divine, yeah, true passion shines. And I'm through passing time, I choose stacking dimes. You snooze half the time while I move passing by. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la 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 la. La 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 la. Oh, oh. Oh, oh, la 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 la. La 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 la. 'Ice in my veins, I've been driving this train. Years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play, and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la 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 la. La 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 la. Oh, oh. And I'm up again. I got tired eyes, need a cup of blend. That's right, in the AM, that's my only friend. No light, just the sun coming up on the horizon. I lose track of time, yeah, I move fast and climb a new class divine, yeah, true passion shines. And I'm through passing time, I choose stacking dimes. You snooze half the time while I move passing by. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la 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 la. La 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 la. Oh, oh. Oh, oh, la 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 la. La 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 la. Oh, oh. veins, I've been driving this train. Years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play, and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la 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 la, la 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 la, oh, oh, and I'm up again. I got tired eyes, need a cup of blend. That's right, in the AM, that's my only friend. No light, just the sun coming up on the horizon. I lose track of time, yeah, I move fast and climb a new class divine, yeah, true passion shines. And I'm through passing time, I choose stacking dimes. You snooze half the time while I move passing by. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la 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 la, la 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 la, oh, 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 la 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 la, la 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 la. 'Cause I've been driving this train. Years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play, and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la 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 la, la 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 la, oh, oh, and I'm up again. I got tired eyes, need a cup of blend. That's right, in the AM, that's my only friend. No light, just the sun coming up on the horizon. I lose track of time, yeah, I move fast and climb a new class divine, yeah, true passion shines. And I'm through passing time, I choose stacking dimes. You snooze half the time while I move passing by. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la 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 la, la 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 la, oh, oh, la 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 la, la 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 la. veins, I've been driving this train. Years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play, and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la, 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 la. And I'm up again. I got tired eyes, need a cup of blend. That's right, in the AM, that's my only friend. No light, just the sun coming up on the horizon. I lose track of time, yeah, I move fast and climb a new class divine, yeah, true passion shines. And I'm through passing time, I choose stacking dimes. You snooze half the time while I move passing by. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la, 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 la. La, 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 la. Oh, oh, la, 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 la. I've been driving this train, years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play.
Yes, good people, big up to all of you. I appreciate you all for finding the time to be with me for another edition of the Blue Morning Show. Yes, that's what it is, even though, yeah, and we're here to react to the manager's selection for our game later today. And discuss whether we'll be better at starting certain players in certain positions. But that's by the way. And right off, I want to apologize for the picture. It's not stable. It looks like the green screen is acting up a bit, and I'm not sure why that's the case. Let me see if this helps. But that's by the way, I appreciate you all once again. More importantly, and make sure you drop the like on the stream as you arrive. If you're following the show on X, we have a lot of people following the show on X, nearly 60 people plus. And if that's the case, please take a second, drop a like on the video for us. Share the video on X and also follow our X account to help us get to 5,000 followers. We're getting there. And my bro, the Blue Tiffy game, the first person in the house, I'm guessing just stopping by because he's usually at work at this time. If that's the case, I'll talk to you later, bro. And yep, who else do we have here? Wycliffe Barish, excited for this one. The lineup is already out. The question a lot of people weren't too sure who starts, either Pedro Neto or Nani Madueke. I haven't seen the lineup. I'm gonna guess Nani Madueke. There's a strong argument for Pedro Neto to start, given Madueke's performance in recent games, where you could say he's been he's not been at his best. He's not also wasn't the worst in those games. Just I think the complaint mainly has been that he's been a bit too selfish to the detriment of the team, if that makes sense. Wycliffe Barrows is excited. Can you let us know why you're excited about this one? Would really like to know. But more importantly, keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go along. We sincerely do appreciate you all. Yeah, Mabas saying big up to you too, brother. He said, I'm excited for the game. I cannot wait for Chelsea to get a win against Nottingham Forest. I feel a lot more excited than what I was last year. a lot of people are. I think it'd be correct if I say you're a fair weather fan. I'm just kidding anyway. The blue to forget. Much love to you. To you saw what happened because we were talking. So the last week, usually by default, I leave that the group window open so that I can easily send the link to people there. Let's go up to Charles. Well, else nice to see you. I do hope you're doing well. Yep, two people here. Yep. In Wycliffe Barish is excited to see the game. Mabas is excited. The Bluetooth game didn't say anything. Will S, are you excited? Are you looking forward to the game? Let us know. I'd really would like to know. Okay. I'm not into those abbreviations. I work in a professional environment, so it's been long. I'm not into. You have to educate me. Okay, if Mario can start over Neto, then we are gonna lose the game. I don't agree. I do not agree one bit. And Jack Hatch is saying that this game will be a different challenger for Chelsea. Need to break a low block, one of the best in the Premier League, and also one of the best. Let me read that correctly. One of the best defense in the EPL this season. One of the most physical also. I have to be honest. I haven't watched them this season to know where I did once. Maybe I didn't pay attention on the day. I don't know whether how they play um in terms of the application on the pitch, the approach maybe. I swear to God. Okay, thank you. That's I just learned new thing like today. So keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. If you haven't, tell me whether you're looking forward to the game. Give me a second. I have to take care of something. And there are a few things. I think two items that I'd like us to look at quickly. This here, yeah, I know a lot of people think Anoni Madueke has been selfish. And I still say this. I think Jadon Sancho is a more productive dribbler than him. I don't know how this is calculated. This is saying Madueke is the best dribbler in the Premier League. Premier League wingers at the okay midfield at dribblers. Is that what that means? Nottingham Madueke at Chelsea 22. He's at 84.662. Aiden Cates at Crystal Palace 81.82. Gruta, Brighton, 81.25. Okay, I'm not sure how that is measured. Then overall, you do have the likes of Bruno Fernandez and Diaye, Minte, Harvey Benz, Leon Bailey, Savinho, Manchester City, Mohamed Kudus, Jeremy Doku, Elanga, Harrison, Murphy, and Johnson. And then here, this particular item here compares Eden Hazard's start to life at Chelsea at the time to that of Cole Palmer. In 245 games, Eden Hazard scored. Okay, let's just talk. Eden Hazard in total played 245 games for Chelsea, and Cole Palmer is on 39. And after that, Eden Hazard scored 85 goals in total, and Cole Palmer is already on 28. Goals per game overall for Eden Hazard is 0.38. Cole Palmer has a higher number there, but we have to pay attention to the volume of games. When Cole Palmer gets there, we still see if he can still be at 0.72. Assist in total 15 for Cole Palmer, 54 for Eden Hazard. Assist per game, Eden Hazard finished with 0.22. Cole Palmer is currently at 0.38. So when he gets to that number, let's see where he'd be. Most goals and assist for Chelsea in the last 10 years in Premier League. I like these things. I have to bookmark it and make a video with it. And the other one, the comparison there, I think I'm going to use it for a video. Eden Hazard, he finished with most goals plus assists, 98 in total. Diego Costa, 89 games. Eden Hazard played a lot more games, 68. Willian, 65, but 205 games. Okay, there's Fabregas there, 56 goals and assists, 138 games in total, not bad. Mason Mount, 50 goals plus 50 goals and assists, 15 total. Let me rephrase it that way. Aspilicueta, wow, high on the list with 293 games, Goals and assists 42 in total. Alonso, 154 games. Goals and assists 41, and then Havertz has why is that guy on the list? I don't like him really. But keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. We have 14 likes. We should be doing a lot better than that. 87 people following the show, but only 7 on YouTube. The rest on X. Maresca in the press conference said, just because someone starts on Thursday doesn't mean they cannot start on Saturday on Sunday. So maybe let's see. I haven't actually seen the lineup, but let's see what you're saying here. So maybe Nato or someone else who doesn't ordinarily start may start. We'll see. The lineup is already out, but I'll open it up a bit. I just felt like we should look at this important. You could call them numbers, maybe. Sorry. Yep. The lineup is already out, so we'll look at it in a bit. Here we have Forest has conceded only 5 goals in 6 games. Only Liverpool has done better. One of the most interesting facts is that Forest received just 13 shots on their goal compared to 31 for Chelsea, but they're facing a different animal. Ty, nice to see you. I appreciate you finding the time to join. Up big indeed, and you know what to do. Let's see what we have here, Coach. Please compare the team's attributions. You will find out that Forest is the best counter-attacking team in the league. I don't think I have time to find how to do that this particular morning, but we did do a preview show where we compared the team's performance, current form, insights that tells us how many goals they've scored of late, and we did look at goal concession, also percentage of that. But that's by the way, keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. Dante, big up to you. I've already asked you that question yesterday, whether you were looking forward to this game. You said yes. So no need to ask you that question again. The line, okay, there you go. It's reflecting here. Wow. So that is telling. Nottingham keeps his place in the Premier League. The same 11 that played our last game, I don't see any difference there. Yeah, Fofana comes in. Colwell, left centre back. Correa, left back. Malo Gusto, right back. 266, Enzo Fernandez. Moises Casedo. 10, Cole Palmer. Left wing, Jadon Sancho. Right wing, Noni Madueke. Number 9, Nicholas Jackson. On the bench, we have Philip Jorgensen, Axel de Cecito, Nadarabi Oyo, Renato Viega, my boy, Romeo Lavia, Christopher Nkunku, João Felix, Mihailo Mudryk, and Pedro Neto. And only one man, and only one man still out in Reece James. Dante, thank you so much, captain of the house. Thank you for finding the time to join us. Question I have for you is this: Nani Madueke start. A lot of people think he wasn't going to start. Even I think it's been 2 games in a row that people believed he wasn't going to start. But there we have it. He's starting over Pedro Neto. But let's hear you.
Big up, Coach. Big up, everyone in the chat.
Bro.
Yeah, I'm one of those people. I had free, so sit down and take a break and give someone else a go and make him earn his place back again. But obviously, the coach has backed him. He's seen probably, who knows? He's probably seen quite a bit of in training. Obviously, he's probably been impressed in training. Maybe he's doing very well there. So it is what it is. It's still a great team. I'm fine with him playing, no problem. It just sets a little bit of a precedence, like I said. So if you don't really perform, 3 games in a row, you'll still keep your place though. So yeah, so I just want to see that consistency. I don't mind otherwise, and that's important for the players as well to see that look, he's backing them. When is he going to make changes when they don't play well? So now we kind of know a little bit. I thought he would be out after sort of 3 games, sort of below average, and I thought Neto might get the nod.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he did say that in the interview as well, the presser before the game. He said that it doesn't matter if they played the last game. If they're in good form and they do well in training, they'll play this game as well. It doesn't matter. So that was a bit of more of a clue that maybe he's making the change. But again, he's not made that change. So we'll see. Yeah, look, I don't mind Madueke. I still don't mind him. But yeah, it just sets a bit of a precedence for the players to follow. And they keep an eye. Players, they keep an eye on that, and they know that. So yeah, we'll see what happens
But
to
I mean, if you get to play in Europe, all the games in Europe, and Madueke gets to play in the Premier League, I mean, it's still fine, except everything comes down to how they rate
correct.
the
Yeah,
Conference League. Had it been the Champions League, I think we wouldn't be asking too many questions. We probably believe they'll be fine with playing in Europe in the Champions League and while Madueke plays in the Premier League.
coach. All the players want to play in the Premier League, and they want to play in every game. Most of the players, they don't care if it's the Conference League; they'll still want to play. Some of the top players, maybe no, but most of the squad, yes. So it doesn't make a difference. And Maresca say that it doesn't matter if they play in Conference League. If they do well in Conference League and they do well in training, and someone's not doing well at all in the team or in training, he's going to put them in. It doesn't matter. So interesting. A little bit of a surprise. I thought he might make that change just because of that reason. I keep saying 3 games in a row where he's been sort of below average. So um, we'll we'll have to wait and see. And that goes for Sanchez too. So he did those big blunders in that game. He has another bad game today. Does that mean he stays? Well, from what we've seen, that means yes, he still stays in the team. So how many games do they need to not perform and not play well for him to make the change?
Yeah, we do not know. I mean, the good thing is that we're getting results,
I
and
think that
that
helps a lot. Yeah,
sorry,
that helps a lot. The
yeah,
results help a lot.
yeah. So the
But
question is, people aren't going to be asking too many questions.
Correct. Yeah, I nitpick at these. I look at these little things because, as an ex-player, I look at these things because that's something I would look at, and I know players look at these things because, like I said, it sets a precedence, and you get to learn the mentality of the coach and what he does and what he doesn't, and it's important for me. It's important for a lot of people that don't care about stuff like this, but for me, it's
Mhm.
important.
Hmm. Let me catch up with this and I'll come back. We'll talk about Benchua. He's not on the bench except if I missed it. And I believe during our conference league game, he wasn't even on the bench. So I don't think it actually makes sense to add him back to the squad. Maybe that was done out of respect for his, you could say, reputation at the club, or maybe I don't know, really. Let's see what else we have here. We have Wickler Barris is saying he's excited because Lavia is fit and he's on the bench. And him not starting today says a lot. But we'll come
Yeah,
back to that a bit. But I'm still saying he will be a regular, but it will be also rotation between him and I strongly believe
I
Moises
say that.
Caicedo, except if the structure changes. If the structure
Correct. Yeah.
changes. But for going with this even as a starting structure, I think it's going to be mainly Enzo Fernandez who will be there. Then with either Casado or Romero Lavia. But I'll come to you in a bit. Just give me 1 second, please. I don't know. Enzo Fernandez and Fofana worry me. Enzo Fernandez doesn't worry me. He's actually done well since the start of the season. But here's the thing. There's something I said the other day. He's that sort of player that you don't know what he brings to the table until he's not playing. He's an excellent player. He's one of the most, you could say, most important. I don't know what was the more accurate term to use here. But let me just use one of the most important players for Enzo Maresca. Just the same way Conor Gallagher was, the same thing Conor Gallagher was to Mauricio Pochettino. Yep, and I'm
Mhm.
telling you that his vision is excellent and he's utilized him very well. And that's why week in, week out, you're going to see him. And it's not because we paid that much money for him, because he's an integral part of the approach. And I'm going to try to break this down again, like I did the other day. He's the sort of player when we are in a very tight space, when the oppositions are pressing us strategically, that you think there's no way we get out of this. He pops up somewhere, stands there, asks for the ball, and once he gets to him, he doesn't even need to take a first touch. Boom, it's a pass immediately, and it leaves that particular space, displacing 2, 3 opposition players. That's very important to the way the manager plays, because we like to play out of the back. But you're entitled to believe that, to be concerned. No. And I think I'll let Dante explain how we deal with the fact that he's not defensively sound as the others, as the other players on the pitch. But I'll let Dante do that in a bit. We need physicality in these games. Um, and I think we'll become our players actually are becoming even more physical. I'm afraid of what prowess. Yeah, okay. Dante, let's hear you. He's concerned about Enzo Fernandez. What do you make of it?
Well, depends what he's worried about, to be honest. But
He's worried. I think he's worried about. I think Markin Newman. I've heard him speak about Enzo Fernandez several times. One is his lack of pace. The other one, lack of physicality.
so,
And you
like
can say,
Carlito
yeah.
last
Go
time,
ahead.
yeah, like Carlito last night. You mean? So, yep.
Yeah, like Calito. Yeah, those aspects. Yeah.
Does he have that pace? No, we all know that. Is he proper defensive midfielder that's a defensive beast? No, he's not that. Uh, he is aggressive when he goes in for the tackles, so he's got that in him. And it's the structure you play around him. He's too important, like you say, for the manager. Like I keep saying, he made him captain for a reason, and he'll be number one on that team sheet for most of the time. He's Enzo's probably favorite player in my opinion. One of those, like you say, like our ex with Gallagher. I think this is the same exactly.
Mm-hmm.
We have the inverted fullback that will help, and that's what that's there for, to help defensively. Caicedo's there to not go that much forward either, because he's been chosen to be the one that sits a bit more, that doesn't go box to box, and Enzo's been given that free role. So we'll see how this game goes. It could be a little bit different, but because it is a very low block, they do love to low block Forest, and like you said, they are a very physical team. Um, so we'll see if Enzo maybe sits a bit deeper and Caicedo might have that free role. That's how I would like to see it, but we'll see how it happens.
I think the
Yeah,
case is vice versa.
yeah, look, he's got cover there. Enzo can play that defensive midfielder because he's got cover. Alone, he's not that good playing that alone, obviously. But if you get the structure right around him and he's got support, he's integral to Maresca's style of play, pass the ball, especially when teams are tight on him. He can quickly release the ball and move it on
mhm.
and open up space and draw opposition in. He draws oppositions in as well because they think he's just like Macon saying, "Oh,
Go
he's
ahead. Let me
slow."
just share this on social media quickly.
Yeah, like Macon say, "Oh, he's slow," and like Khalito saying, "Oh, he did," but that draws opposition in because they think the same and they come for him, and that helps the team a lot. But he can get out of those situations because he's so technical, so he's so good at those things and
Yeah,
move
and
the
it's
ball.
actually serious misconception that he's bullied off the ball easily. He's not. He's just
No, he's
intentionally
not. He's not
gets you
bullied
to
off the
commit a
ball.
foul.
He's very strong. He's got strong.
Hmm.
He's got quite big, thick thighs, legs. He's rooted to the ground. He's got very strong legs, and he's an aggressive player. People don't see it, but he's a very aggressive player. He puts his tackle in. He goes for every tackle. If he gets there, he'll put his foot in for the tackle. He's not scared of anything. He's got that South American flair in him where he goes quite hard at it. So he's an aggressive player. So yeah, I understand why people say that, but there's a lot of misconception to that because of the injury, because of how it was played before. And like you say, price tag, and he's not the flashiest player in the world. Like he's not going to score goals and stuff because he's sitting deeper. So he's not really going to score many goals. Assist, he's been doing pretty well with assist. Could do a little bit better, I agree. But we've got
And you
so
could
many people up
argue his
front.
creative chances. I think he's having just 1 second, if you don't mind, please. I apologize. I think he has the sort of Jorginho luck. Had if we had
Mhm.
clinical finishes at when Jorginho was at Chelsea, he probably could have left the club with a little more. You could say twice as much as the numbers he had in terms of his total assist numbers. You could argue for Fernandez, he hasn't been lucky with that too. But I'm
Even
not going to
Jorginho,
mention.
coach, he wasn't an assist guy. He wasn't an
But
assist
go
guy.
ahead,
He was
yeah.
more
But
of a
that's
goal
not
guy
his
because he
thing,
took.
yeah.
No, he never assisted because he was so
Mhm.
deep. He never hardly ever assisted. He scored because he took the penalties, but he never really assisted much because he was
But
so
I think
deep.
he
And
created a few, even for
yeah,
what's it, Mauricio Sarri, former boy at Napoli, what's his name, the Argentine. He created a few for him. Even you could say he wasn't lucky. Those he was creating the chances at the time for were fluffing it mainly. But go ahead with what you were saying.
well, the ones he was creating, like a lot of Enzo creates as well, is the ones that balls are a bit over the top and it's at speed, at high speed, and the players running high speed.
Hmm.
Those are more 50-50. You're not going to get those. You're not going to score many of those chances. Like I said, you'll probably score 50% because it's at full speed. So that's why as well. That's why those percentages are low. It's harder when the ball's going very fast and everything's moving very fast. It's much harder to score and assist as well. So, yeah, look, yeah, I love Enzo Fernandez. I actually think he'll have a really from him today. I'm expecting to be one of the top players on the field. Just the way he looked in training, and like I said, to me, he looked like he lost a kilo or two. He looks like he's even fitter. I think not playing week in and week out, but not just week in and week out, not midweek like he used to play, because he was
Mhm.
played a lot. Remember, he never would get a rest. He was playing midweek cup games and on the weekend.
That
Would
was, you
play.
said that led to him having issues or
Yeah,
maintaining,
that
performing,
didn't help him at all.
consistently.
Correct, and it does. People think it doesn't, but it actually does. And especially when you got a hernia and a bit of an injury, carrying an injury as well, yeah, that's going to affect you massively. What I saw in training, I think I've seen, this is probably the fittest I've ever seen him. This week in training, he looked,
He's
yeah,
lost a few portion of meat, right?
lost a bit of meat, so he looks really sharp. He looks really fit. He- I think you're going to see the best of Enzo Fernandez this season, and especially in this game, in my opinion.
Yeah. Let me catch up with what we have in the time. We'll talk about the lineup. The back line, the two center backs. Why what's his name? It's my belief that Tosin Adarabioyo should be starting as one of the center backs to help lead the back line, calm the nerves down a bit. But despite when we get to that in a big, Vic, nice to see you. What's buzzing, Vic? Any updates from you? Let's see. Enzo Fernandez is underrated, very underrated. But if you understand football, you'd know that he's important. And it just hurts me when we have worldies like Casadei and Carney. You don't
Mm.
compare Carney to Enzo Fernandez. Casadei,
He's
maybe. I
like
don't know him that
superstar
well to
comment,
know
coach.
whether you should be comparing them. Sorry. So go ahead, Dante.
That's like your superstar comment, that one. That's very
Mm,
close. That's Carney and World Cup. I'm not sure
yeah.
about that one.
Yeah, but Bobby will agree that even Kanye can do better than our goalkeeper. Um, I hope he heard that. I hope everyone who dropped Madueke has learned a lesson now. Sancho Palma and Madueke play as a unit, and that matters. I think I
Yeah,
agree with you. Let
no,
me see if my ink is working. Yep, it is. The chemistry between these three guys,
I don't
right?
agree with
We
that
have
one.
these three guys. They've played together for a while at youth level. Maybe that's a factor. And then the chemistry between these two guys too.
Yeah, look, except Madueke, the others, yeah, but Madueke, no,
Madwike, he
and that
has a very good chemistry with Cole Palmer. And they can, but go ahead with what you were saying. Let me let you
yeah,
finish.
Cole Palmer sets him up, but he doesn't return the favors. So no,
That's the thing. But maybe the manager values the fact, but at least they have a good understanding, let alone being that understanding being broken by selfishness or for either of the two.
yeah,
I
but
don't know
that's
if you
not.
get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know what he means, but when saying that as a unit, it doesn't help. Just saying that those three, no, it doesn't. Especially, like I said, how he played, not even close. Definitely did not play like a unit, because he was nowhere, and when he did get the ball, he would never give it back, and that doesn't show unity at all.
And that's crazy. People, you can say there are lots of conspiracies flying around that he's not happy that Cole Palmer scored four on that day. I mean,
Just look at the
and they were,
massive difference.
they have a frozen pic, image of where they're pointing him not looking happy. But even though he was smiling, I think somebody was able to get him before he opened, he showed his teeth. But that's by the way, anyway. Vic here is saying, Vic, who is not the captain, by the way. I'm a sinner. I agree. I hope everyone up. Okay, that's him. That's him saying we've read that. And Vic is saying here also, wordies Akani and Kasade are world class. He's asking a very good question there. Let me see what else
Sorry, I
we have
got
here. Keep
disconnected.
up.
Sorry,
Sorry, go ahead.
I got disconnected, so I missed whatever you
Yeah,
said.
I
Yeah,
see that you
sorry.
still even using that Walmart internet connection. Um,
Not Walmart, Target.
what's the name of your own version of Walmart? What did you
We don't
call it?
have Walmart here. We don't have
No, but what
warm-up
do you
here.
call the version of it? Maybe something like
We
similar.
only have Target, Kmart, and Big
That
W. I don't know if you have those.
and that's where you shop, right? The cheap places.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
There's also
So
Best and Less where I shop as
yeah,
well.
no,
That's
no. In all, but in all fair, for jokes aside, cheap is always good. Honestly,
it can be. Sometimes it
yeah,
can be.
yeah. It depends on what you're
Depends what
buying,
you're
though.
looking for. Well, sometimes it can be, sometimes it's not, but it just depends.
All right. Generational. Who said? Routing rooting for Enzo. Okay, the spelling maybe. I think. Am I wrong? And we have graphic user interface. You and Brianna Yahayu. So many names. I think I have to update it as soon as possible. Why wasn't I writing them down? This is good lineup. It is the correct vibe, the vibe of Mandem FC. I love that one. We're not arguing that it's a bad lineup, but we think, in my opinion, for instance, for me, I think we can do better with Tosin start here. And I wouldn't even mind for Fana moving to the left, Tosin starting here, both of them together. But I don't like both. You could sense, again, every now and then you see something that shows you they're very inexperienced. Or you see something that shows you that under consistent pressure, you start seeing silly mistakes. You start seeing them out of position, not syncing their application. Then here, the argument is that Nani Madueke for 3 games in a row, he's not performed up to the level we expect him to perform. So we felt like maybe Pedro Neto, he's done enough. The feeling is that maybe Pedro Neto has done enough to take his place in the team, but still a good lineup. Like I think Dante did say that actually when he talked about the lineup, irrespective of whether Neto starts or not, it's still a good lineup like this. Nani Madueke can do some damage. Hopefully he's paying attention and be a little less selfish today. But yeah, he says here they got good chemistry because they are Mandem FC. Click. What's that? That a Kanye West songs that comes to mind, but I don't want to sing it here. Dante, no right wing at the club. Okay, he says no right wing at the club presses all supports the defense like Madueke.
Yeah,
Has he
that's not
improved
true.
that much in terms of his
That's not
defensive
true.
contributions? Has he, Dante? Do you agree?
No, I don't agree. It's not, in my opinion, no, definitely not. I think Neto is actually more pressing and more aggressive and more defensive than Madueke.
How many times have you watched him? I don't remember him. I wouldn't go to the extent of said to the extent of saying he does those stuff more than Madueke.
He does,
And
coach, especially at Wolves.
but he
And
hasn't done that at Chelsea, right?
well, because he's played on the left. He's saying right winger. That's the only reason I'm saying that. But he played last game. He played right wing, and that's exactly what he did. He was up and down that sideline, defending, running, aggressive tackling, winning the ball back, and then doing the offensive stuff as well. And
I'm
that's
just happy you're
exactly what he
not,
did at
whatever
Wolves.
it is. I'm just happy you're not agreeing with Vic. Go ahead.
Well, I can't agree with Vic never, so that's why. Yeah.
He says, well, then I can agree with it if that works for you. Practically what you said there. Let's see, Madueke is a great goal scoring winger. Neto is more precise and assistant. Yeah, they're both good players. I'm not. We're lucky to have them both. But here's the thing. One thing. That's a good, actually, distinctive. You could say what's language I'm looking for. That's a good description of how they differ, but I need to pay attention more to understand Pedro more to be able to like put my fingers, well, you can say, in the areas where they differ. It would take me a while because yeah, let me see. But we're gonna be seeing Pedro up close right now. Pace wise, definitely Pedro is quicker. Okay, Bobby, see you when you get here. And Wycliffe Barrish is saying he's saying you don't change a winning team. So this consistency in the starting lineup ain't bad at all. Provided he's saying provided we are getting positive results. I agree. And this is saying the manager is giving Madueke his fair chance, I guess, to make the right decisions. That when he drops him, there will be no complaints. And that Pietro and PS, nice to see you, Mr. PP. I hope you're doing well. PP sounds like something else. So I'm just gonna call you Mr. Pietron or PS. I hope I pronounced your first name correctly. If I didn't, apologies. You have an assignment today, Lord Dante. Pay more attention to how Maresca operates. Dante, I agree. Are you going to do that?
I do that all the last 3 games. I've been paying very close
Okay,
attention.
maybe do more. Maybe you didn't do enough. That's what he's
Yeah,
arguing.
I need an extra set of eyes.
Yeah, what was I think I read something that I wanted to ask you a question about. Giving Mike a fair chance to make. Yeah, Dante, let's go back to this a bit before we bring on Bobby. This comment here. That may
Yep.
well be the case. Um Maybe he's the sort of manager. What's what I'm looking for is, would it be right to say, to fulfill all righteousness, or maybe to give you the benefit of the doubt? I think that's a more relatable to say, so that when he drops you, it it be justified. Do you think that's the case?
For me personally, it's 3 games in a row is too much. Just because he did the same with Mudryk and he dropped Mudryk, so I was expecting the same for Madueke. So that's why I compared that. I saw him do it with Mudryk, and I was expecting the same for him to do with Madueke as well. He hasn't done that. There's something we don't see maybe behind the scenes, training, etc. There's so many other factors as well, off field, blah blah. There's a lot of other factors. So, um, for example, like Carney last game, everyone was complaining why Carney didn't play last game. Well, we just found out that he wasn't feeling that well the night before, so that's why he wasn't featured in the game. So, but no one knew that. So there's a lot of other factors as well. But yeah, I'm just going with, like I said, consistency. He did the same with Mudryk. Remember, he started Mudryk 3 games in a row, and Mudryk didn't perform. He was dropped, and he hasn't been back since. Um, and he took another 3 games to slowly integrate him back. And we saw him in the week. He did very well. He looked much sharper. He looked much better. Obviously, he worked on his game, and they worked with him on his game, and he was much, much better. And so I was just expecting the same for Madueke, in my opinion, to that there's someone ahead of him, and just to push that pressure on him to perform even better. This is another way of doing it. He's 100% under a lot of pressure this game to perform because of stuff like we were talking about. And it's not just us; everyone's been talking about it. So I'm sure, and that always filters down to the manager and to the players. It always does. So um, he'll know that. So he's maybe giving him this, confidence in him, saying, "Look, you got this game. Go out there, prove everyone wrong. Show them that you know who you are." So yeah, I'll definitely be paying close attention to him. But the only reason I said it because he did the same with Mudryk. So I thought he'll do the same exactly with Madueke as well.
Let's talk about this quickly. I want to talk about this, then I'll bring in Bobby. But if you have anything to add to that, that's fine. This here, which reads, "Don't change. You don't change a winning team. So this consistency in the starting lineup and bad at all, provided we're getting positive result." Here's the thing: we've talked about how result trumps everything. It's a result-driven business. As long as you win, it's usually difficult to make changes. But the truth remains, this logic in football doesn't really matter. In football, you almost always do what will make you better. Does that
Correct.
make
Yeah.
sense? You almost, like, that's why every transfer window, all the big clubs are linked with numerous new signings, because there's almost always a room to improve. And you don't, because you won a game, and only see things from a positive light, and not see things from areas where you believe you can improve to become even better. For instance, if the manager is saying we're not at the level at Man City yet, getting there, I'm not saying Nani Madueke is a bad player, may well be not as simple as, may well start by, you could say, dropping Madueke when he's not performing up to the level we know he can. That latter part of my sentence simply means we know he can do a lot better. But he's on the pitch. Chances are he scores 4 goals today or gets 3 assists. For instance, the other game, when people were had the belief that definitely Nkunku was going to start over, Nicholas Jackson, he started, and then it took a while before people start paying attention. The fact that he started is that the team we played against, and that they play a high line, and Nicholas Jackson, he's capable of exploiting that. And lo and behold, he did that. He scored 2 goals like in half a second, if that makes sense. But just by the way, I don't know if you want to add to that, Dante, before we bring on Bobby.
No, I
As
just
usual,
want to say,
we're
yeah.
marginalizing him, so that's why we're keeping him quiet for a while.
Keep him waiting. We'll give him 5 minutes just before the game starts. Um, big up, Bobby. Yeah, look, I just want to say, I mean, do you agree that, and everyone in the chat can answer that as well, do you agree that that sets a precedence, having three below average games in a row for other players going forward?
I think I agree. A lot of people, I do agree, which is why a lot of people expect the manager to make that change. But if it doesn't, I have no complaints, in my opinion. Did you? I'm guessing you want Bobby to answer to start with that question, right? And then
Yeah,
from
Bobby
there he
can
can
answer that.
talk
And
about
yeah,
the lineup.
I still don't mind it. I don't mind Madueke playing, but I just sets a precedent. So you just got to look at those little things. Yeah.
Yeah, hold up, guys. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah. Big up, Bobby.
Can you
Thank
hear
you
me?
for joining us.
Yeah, I know Coach likes to cut me off and keep me not talking, so that's okay. I'm used to it. Big up, Dante.
Yeah, Bobby, no
Yeah,
problem.
look, what we have here. I mean, I think most of us, if not all of us, predicted this is the lineup he will start, and I underline that word. He will start with. I had my opinions. Like yesterday, I gave you kind of the lineup I felt he would start with, and the one or two players I would have started with. And clearly, that's not what he wants. However, three things come to mind. There's no player being dropped here at all. These players are
That's
playing
an
every week.
important point. Thank you so much for saying that, Bobby.
These these players are playing every week, just that they're playing in different competitions. Now, at the moment, he has a preference to these players for the Premier League, but I can assure you, excuse me, I've got in my throat. I
You
can
okay?
assure you that yeah, I'm good. I can assure you that before the season ends, there will be a few tweaks here and there. You know, some may lose form, some may find form. Now, this Madweke discussion to me is a very it's a very interesting one, and it kind of reminds me of days gone by where excuse me, I hope I'm not making too much noise on
Sorry,
the
Bobby.
platform. Yeah, kind of reminds me of days gone by when I used to defend a lot of what I would choose to call unfashionable players. Now, Madueke is not only unfashionable, but he's made himself amongst certain aspects of this fan base a little bit unlikable. Now, I'm not saying they detest him. I'm just saying that he's not their flavor of the month, and his behavior has caused that. Silly little things he does. I think. Can you hear? Can you still hear me? Because I've just
Yeah, yeah.
taken off my.
Crystal clear, Bobby.
Right. I think people haven't, in their subconscious, forgotten. You know, when he argued for penalties, maybe the odd free kick here and there. They don't really like that. They understand it's just childish petulance, but they don't like that, and such that his few errors, because they are very few, but they have been magnified and made a character trait. You know, he didn't pass in one instance where the pass was glaring. It was very frustrating. But, you know, people have latched onto that because of the lack of fondness for him and called it a character trait. Now, he doesn't do that often. And he's such a player that he gets himself into positions or creates the position to be able to do that in the first place. Madueke is a very effective player, very raw, very immature. And as I've said numerous times, I can see what Maresca is doing. Maresca wants to play him into his potential. There's no comparison between Madueke and Modric, none whatsoever. Madueke is spades ahead of Modric as a player. You know, Modric is in development at its infancy. Madueke is in development as it's at its juvenile stage, and there's a stark difference. Now you can see the lack of sort of fondness for him in some of the subtle wording. Now, I'm not having a go at anybody. It is what it is. But when you say things like, "Oh, he's going to be playing Madueke so that when," and I underline the word when, he drops him, nobody, he can't complain. I wouldn't have said when. I would have said if he drops him, or if he needs to drop him, then it would be clear why. But it is what it is. It's just nitpicking and looking at this thing myopically. I think he is a very good player. I think he is a player in development. I think the whole team is in development. That's just the point. And he is trying to develop a team while get the team to keep winning. Not everybody is going to be a Cole Palmer, and even he has his moments. We all remember Middlesbrough away. He had an absolute shocker. But because he's sort of more than made up for it, XYZ down the line, nobody even remembers that period of game, or that sort of game that he had. These kids are going to sometimes throw a wobbly because they are in development. And Madueke is very much that sort of player. He'll have moments of complete brilliance, and then he'll have his wobblies. Trouble is with him, his attitude makes people remember his wobblies and not and be slightly, I'm not saying they don't particularly like him as such, but they'll be slightly less forgiving. Look, it's a hard call. It's a very hard call. I see why he's done it. Nottingham Forest are a physical team. He is somewhat physical, and he can cause them problems. If he underperforms, well, Neto is waiting on the bench to come on, and I'm sure even if he overperforms, Neto will get a run out today. So that's just how I feel about this guy. There are many other members of the team that are equally the same. Look at Jackson. Jackson has vastly improved. Jackson is very important to the team, but he's still very much in development. He still fluffs chances. As when it comes to finishing, he's nowhere near Nkunku, but he makes up for it with other things in his game that helps us, especially with battling Premier League matches.
Here's the thing also, something that this discussion highlights is that we're blessed with talent. We're
Oh, for
blessed.
sure.
Yeah.
That's why I made the point that nobody's getting dropped here. They're just being played in different competitions. This guy makes full wholesale changes each competition. What does that mean? It means he's rehearsing them, he's integrating them. He wants to make two teams such that any player can walk in at any time into any team, no matter the number of changes he needs to make, and it's seamless. It just doesn't, you wouldn't even notice it. That's a tough thing to achieve, but he's slowly but surely walking towards there. He is one manager that really needs time, and I hope we give him that time he needs.
I don't think I've ever heard that from you. Dante, let me catch up with what we have in the chat, and if you have any response to what Bobby just said, you go ahead. This here reads, Madueke is not under any pressure. Maresca likes what Madueke brings to the team. I am surprised no one is seeing that. I think we're seeing that. Maybe a lot of people will learn that today. It's been 2 games now, or 3 games in a row, that I had strong belief that the manager was going to drop him. But if anything, we're learning a lot more about the manager up close. Here's the thing. My only issue in those games, to be more in those games in particular, where his lack of team play, him opting to try to shoot when it would be better off had he squared the ball to his teammates, which can easily, like this, maybe the manager has spoken to him, and that changes today. I'll take it. I look. I said before this game that even if he starts over Pedro Neto, I'm not going to complain. That's how good. How even if Madueke, had I seen again, if we had what's his name, Mihailo Mudryk on the pitch and not Sancho, I'd still be happy because he's showing improvement. Yeah, but let's see what else do we have here. The Madueke and Neto. It's a good problem to have. If you, that's a good problem. No, I think if anybody thinks otherwise, things that is not a good problem to have. Then you don't want um, Chelsea to do well. Yeah, it's a good problem to have. Bobby didn't say everything. Nothing to add on Madueke. Thank you, panel of judges. Look at you. He's blushing because because Bobby says what he want to say. That anything else you want to say about that?
Uh, there's enough. We've covered it all pretty much. But
Okay.
yeah, my only, like I keep saying, my only issue. Well, Bobby didn't really answer it. My question. Maybe he can do that again.
Mhm.
Does
Yeah.
that set a precedence to other
Okay.
players
Okay.
that
Good
you
question
can
to Bobby.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
that
yeah,
you
yeah.
can
So
underperform? Yeah.
that is a good question. It is. I can bet my hat that it doesn't. Um, from what I'm seeing, I don't think, there are one or two little selections that he makes that I question, but I give him, because he's doing so well, I give him the benefit of the doubt to the fact that he's seen these guys in training every day. I don't think, and he has said so himself, that um, Maresca works according to formulas and rule books. He will do things based on your form and based on what you show him at training. So if you are played and played and played, and even though on match day you throw some boo boos, you can be sure that the person that's supposed to come in after you is probably throwing his boo boos on the training ground. This is just a supposition. I'm not saying exactly that's what's happening. So, in direct answer to your question, it will be no. It won't set a precedent. What will set the precedent is that a player must satisfy him, as in Maresca, before they are usurping another player in a particular league that he wants him to be playing with, because this said player is playing the cup games anyway. And they are at the moment coming every week. So it's not about not playing; it's about which competition you're playing in. And before he alters that, you would have to give him, in his private sessions to you, with you, reasons to do that. That's just how I see it. I think he can look at Sanchez. Sanchez might be in goal all season. And people will be wondering, well, when's he going to start? What's his name?
Jorgensen.
Jorgensen. Yeah, when's he going to start Jorgensen? Well, he is starting Jorgensen, just not in the Premier League yet. So it's a very intelligent man management style, and it gives a lot of an illusion, because a lot of people, you see these pundits, oh, how do you feel about not playing and just, coming and playing every now and then? And these players are looking at them thinking, what are you talking about? I am playing, because they are playing at least once a week. And he's managing their workload, as he said, to keep them at the highest level and give them the longest longevity for the season. I'm all for that. I think it's very smart.
Yep. Well, there is playing, but let's be real. The Premier League is the first team, the first 11.
Yeah. Look
Well,
at.
I don't
Go
argue
ahead.
that. I don't argue that. However, just for the sake of argument and conversation, I would say that's perception. I will go to the extreme, and I talk often of La Liga and the Spanish league. Why is Real Madrid the team that it is? Real Madrid is in, let's be frank, you know, quite a farmer's league when you compare it to the Premier League. How many teams are there in that league? Maybe four, if you're lucky, five. Real Madrid has for decades only been focused on playing European Cup competitions. That's where their main focus is. That's what they are about. That's why they've won so many. They use their league as a rehearsal for that.
Yeah,
Now,
yeah, Bobby. Yeah,
is
that's
it
different. Yeah, yeah, 100%.
well, it's different, but it's an example. It's courses for horses. They would have teams that play that league, and then don't start the Premier League, the Champions League, and vice versa. But none of them feel they're not really at the top and really exercising their trade. I think we have to focus on who we are as a club. And we have to get that understanding back, or rather into the narrative, that the honor of playing for the shirt at all is something that is worth doing. And just as Coach said, it's a good problem to have, whether you start Neto or Madueke. This is Chelsea. This is what we're about. And we should always give a positive feel to that. Where we fail as a fan base is we don't. Whereas if you go on these other spaces, these other go where Real Madrid, if you can find any of them that speak English, go to Madrid spaces. Certainly go to Liverpool and Arsenal spaces. I mean, these geezers are delusional anyway, but they never talk down on the honor of playing for their badge. And I just wish I could hear more of that from us, because it is a tremendous honor. We are in a highly privileged club, a
You must
very
enjoy listening
successful club.
to Renato Viega.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Of course, we're in a very successful club, but it seems that the people that don't really appreciate it are some, and I use the word, carefully, some of our own fans. And that's a shame. Trust me, the rest do. That's why they attack us so much, because they know how powerful we really are.
All right, thank you so much. This one here is saying, that's from Vic, is saying, it doesn't, KDH is working harder than Enzo. I'm sorry, I think you're responding to someone. Okay, let's see. Vic has a point, does he? I don't know. Well, hello to you too, Mr. Derek. I do hope you're doing well, and thank you for joining us here. Pietron is saying, everyone knows Madueke is a good player. What I said, he needs to make better decisions when to shoot and when to square the ball to his better position teammates to ensure we get a goal. Okay, Mr. Forrest, you're welcome. Express yourself. Don't fight anyone. Sorry, Jorgensen, I told you in the summer that Sanchez wears the cape and kimono in goal. Let's see.
Time will tell.
And you did say a lot of times that, yeah, he finished the season well. The numbers were there to confirm that. But let's see what happens. Things may well change. We have two good goalkeepers. Sanchez has proven that he's capable of guarding the sticks effectively for us, irrespective of the fact that he's not been perfect. He's a human being after all. Yeah, go away, Vic. Nice to see you. Just had to verify you wouldn't be in trouble if you mentioned Forrest. No, we welcome you. Just don't be abusive. How do we watch the game now? If you have where at Peacock, I think it will be on Peacock. Go ahead, check. You'll see it there. I don't know. That's anything else you want to talk about before we talk about the defensive line? I feel like Tosin should be starting here for reasons I've explained, because the issues still exist, and you can say what we're looking at right now on the screen makes it make sense that we talk about it.
Yep. Yeah, I agree, Coach, and that's pretty much the
I'm
same
going to go
problem.
ahead and speak about it like I usually do. These,
Yeah.
yeah, the
Can
same
you hear
thing.
me?
These
Yeah.
two guys, they're good. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm saying that's a very similar problem, like we were talking about Madueke and Neto
Mhm.
coming in for him, where you think Tosin should be coming in for one of those two. Which one of those two would you choose to take out for
I
Tosin?
would say one. This guy is naturally, traditionally left-footer, and he's done well. It's just I'd still argue that the biggest issue we've had is just the imbalance in the pairing. I'd drop Fofana and play Colwell and Tosin. I think that's a perfect
Okay.
balance to me.
Yep.
And here's why I'm saying we need Tosin here, irrespective of who drops out to accommodate him, is the fact that when these two they start well, they do well until we face consistent pressure. Then you start seeing a lot of disjointed displays from them. You started seeing things that would tell you that they start saying things that highlight their lack of experience. You start seeing them making you could say unwarranted if there's any mistakes, if there's anything right like that. So my point is we need a cool-headed player like Tosin. He's good on the ball, he's intelligent, he reads the game very well, leads the back line even without speaking, because you can lead by example where you find yourself, or even by pointing to to where you want your teammates to be. He's that good. When we've seen when he starts games, we don't have issues that you could say is down to the fact that we have a panicky defensive line that was what led to us conceding, or lack of coordination. He takes care of those things, but unfortunately, I'm not sure why the manager prefers Colwell and Fofana. Eventually, they will match up to an extent where, if they're on the pitch, one is not going to be concerned with the sort of pressure we face or whether we concede first. Because in the case of these two, every time they're on the pitch, the moment we concede first, all hell breaks loose. That's just my opinion. I don't know why the manager prefers this pairing, but he gets paid to select the lineup, and I think he's doing that. But Dante, let's hear you. What do you think the manager should do?
Yeah, look, I agree. At the start of the season, I would have had Tosin and Fofana, not Colwell. Colwell has improved. He's done much better. I still would have Tosin over Colwell, just my personal opinion, just because how aggressive Fofana is in pushing the ball forward and coming out off the line and, going for tackles. He's an aggressive defender. And Colwell is still quite nervy when he's on the ball. He needs a bit of space. He's not as good. He's not bad. He's a good player on the ball, but if there's pressure on him, he's quite nervy. And again, also, they're very similar. They like to get into the tackle, jump out, move out of the back line, and that causes problems. Like you say, defensively. And Tosin would, in my opinion, would sort those problems out. He's more of a sweeper. He sits back, watches the play, dictates the play, and gets involved in the play when needed, and watches what the other players are doing. Too many occasions I've watched Fofana and Colwell not communicating, and they're doing the same thing. That's because of the same type of players. They're more aggressive defenders. And that is a little problem, which I agree 100% with you. I would have Tosin 100% in there. Why he's not in there? Well, Colwell's, it's in his contract. He has to play every game. And
I'd ask you for your
Fofana's
ID if you
75
didn't
million,
say
and he
that.
hasn't. And he's getting his chance again. So Tosin was free, didn't cost nothing. And yeah, it's even though you think that doesn't matter, it does matter a little bit at that level. It matters a little bit. It gives you that little edge. Like I said, it's their spot to lose once they don't perform. And even if they haven't performed, we've still been winning. Like you said, we've got the results, but we are leaking too many goals because of it. And that'll only be a matter of time till that gets exposed a little bit more. So yeah, I agree 100%. I would have Tosin in there for either, really, to be honest, but preferably for Colwell. It doesn't matter for me because he's got the left foot, because Tosin can play with his left foot and right foot. Fofana can play with his left foot and right foot. So it doesn't matter to me that only left footer. That's more of a disadvantage, in my opinion, when you can play only more with your left and not as good with your right.
I mean,
So
if the player is still central, it doesn't really matter to me
it
either.
doesn't matter exactly for me
Yeah.
at all, especially because we go in a back three as well when we are attacking. So it doesn't really matter. The left right foot thing doesn't matter too much. It only more happen if you're left back or right back, that's like out wide, that's when it matters more.
Yeah.
Otherwise it doesn't matter to me personally. It doesn't matter, and I've never really seen it be much of an issue in my playing career, or even in top teams. It hasn't really been that big of an issue. If the player is good enough and if you can play with both feet, that's even better.
Yep. Let's see what else we have here. We have Vicky saying dropping Colwell is such an unpopular opinion. I see the logic, but this man, Dante, came with bags of trouble today. But it doesn't look like you're ready to fight him, though. I'd like to see that happen. Colwell is not the leader type, yet he needs a Tosin or the CC next to him. I think I think that's the most correct way to actually phrase it. He needs you can say a more relatable way to phrase it. He needs a leader type of player by his side to do better. So thank you for that. Defending Fofana like that is a diabolical. All right, Bobby, let's hear your thoughts on the defensive line. How do you think we'll sort out the issue of the players of that defensive line? The two center backs, to be more specific, losing it whenever we concede first or whenever we're under consistent pressure from the opposition. How do you think we solve that problem, Bobby?
You see, the reason Maresca said that we are not ready to challenge Man City and Arsenal is because he has accepted and he acknowledges the fact that we are in development. He knows these players are developing. He knows the formations are developing. He's often spoken of the number of years both the likes of Arteta and Guardiola have had with Arsenal and Man City, respectively. And he knows that his patterns, his use of players, the very players themselves, are going to need time to establish that standard and that consistency. Now, we had just spoken of Madueke and how he's a player under development and transiently mentioned Jackson. But so is, as good as he is, Fofana. Before he went off injured, he did have a few moments and he did show he was a player in a measure of learning. What level of his development is? Well, if Modric is at its infancy, Madueke is at the juvenile stage. I would say that people like Fafana and Colwill at the young adult stage of development, marginal development, but still development. And he looks to me like a manager that likes to play players through their to their potential, and it takes time. As I reiterate, nobody's getting dropped here. These players are all playing. It just depends on your competition. People hold playing in the Premier League in the highest regard. Okay, fair enough. That might be how you see it. It is how I see it. But is that how Maresca's seen it? No, he's not. Quite clearly, he knows some players are going to need somewhat, with all due respect, lesser competitions in order to get themselves up to scratch. And that's why I'm so glad we are in the Conference League. It gives them that opportunity. And I hope we can surmount Newcastle away and continue in the Carabao Cup, because that will give them an even better opportunity, because as they progress and meet tougher and tougher teams, it becomes a sterner and sterner test for them in in their development. So would I have Tosin in that centre back pairing? Yes, I think yesterday I did say I would. It would have been my choice. But it's not his choice, and I understand it. He's like, do you know what? At whatever time, these guys are going to be developing. We have to understand that. We have to push them through and we have to get them to that point. And these guys, in the stage of their development, he believes, and I have no reason to actually doubt him. He believes this is the stage with which they need that exercise. So we've come to a point where it's a matter of, it's not trust the process, just trust the coach, and
And
see.
and also be objective of what from given what we're seeing.
Yeah, he's done well so far. He's got a big test in a few minutes against Nottingham Forest. Will they pass it? Well, if they pass it, that's another sort of notch on his belt and another notch in the players' belt of confidence and their belief that they can integrate and step up to the plate. And that will do them a world of good. Every win helps the players mentally and in terms of their development. So let's see what happens. I can't really say it's a bad idea.
Yeah, yeah. Dante, let's say something I want to ask you is this. What was it again? I just lost it. What was I gonna ask you about? Who comes on? Okay, let's just go with this. I think it will come to mind again.
Mhm.
Um, Oh,
right,
yeah, there you go, Dante. Nottingham Forest, do you know, are you well acquainted with the way they played this season? Have they changed? Definitely, there still be a physical side, but in terms of their overall application on the pitch, do you know how they play?
I do, and I've looked at them quite a bit. They don't concede many goals. They sit back. They're low block team, very low block. Like you said, they're very physical, but they're even more physical this season. And they look for those, breakaway chances, set pieces, which unfortunately we still have not really corrected that well yet. And that is their strength. They look for that. They've got players very tall, very physical players, but even the shorter players are very stocky, very physical, aggressive players. So it's a very physical team. Low block, sit back, absorb pressure on the counter, and yeah, very old school of way of playing. They've got Chris Wood up front, tall, big, physical guy that's very good in the air. They're gonna try to play us that way. They're gonna try to be very physical with us, and it's worked for them. Look, they've lost some games. They've had surprise. They've won. They've only lost by 1 goal every game that they've lost. 1 goal is the largest margin. So yeah, they keep it
Would
very
it be
tight.
correct to say in us they'll be facing a different animal?
Yes, and this is a tough test for us. Like Bobby said, this is a very tough test. People think it's Nottingham Forest, but it's actually a little bit different Nottingham Forest this season. And even though they did us last season as well, but those were different circumstances. But yeah, look, they're very tough and they're low block, and we struggle with low blocks, especially wingers struggle. We saw against Bournemouth in that. Madueke were nowhere to be seen. Sancho, that was his first start, nowhere to be seen, did absolutely nothing in that game. Once we brought on Felix and Nkunku and played more centrally, and Palmer moved a bit to the right, we played much better, and we got that goal, and we scraped the result out, and we won. And that's why I fear this game as well. I would play more technical players, and I would play Palmer on the right wing because we're going to have a lot of possession, and we're going to be in their half. And I would play Palmer on the right wing because he can cut in, and then I would play a more technical player than Madueke. Sorry, I wouldn't play Madueke at all. I would even play Felix in behind in that role, and then I would even play Nkunku up front because Jackson will not have hardly any space, and he'll be just fighting with the defenders because that's what they're going to try to kick him and hit him, and they're going to keep him busy, and he's going to do the same because he likes that physical, but he's got no space to turn in and run into. He will not. His game will not work in this type of game as well as it normally does. So that's my fear about the
There
game.
won't be spaces for him to exploit.
There'll be won't faces for the wingers, and there won't be spaces there. That's why I think we need more technical players around, tight spaces, because we're gonna have a lot of the ball, little chips over the top, little flicks, little 1-2s, triangles. Technical players that can do that very well. And so look, Maresca's obviously he's checked game film and everything like that. He thinks Madueke, Sancho, and that will do a good job. But the games I have seen this season, the ones that Sancho, especially Madueke and our Mudryk, the wingers, it was against the low block teams. They're not effective against low blocks teams. They just aren't.
All right.
Jackson the same. Jackson exactly the same.
All right. All right, people, thank you to all of you for finding the time to be with us today for this particular edition of the Blue Money Show. Thank you to Vic, and thank you to Mikey Noom, thank you to Bobby, and thank you to Constantine Dantu, the captain of the house. I appreciate you all. All of you in the chat, I cannot thank you all enough. See you guys when we start the post-game show. Well, definitely we're doing that. So go and enjoy the show, and hopefully we get it. We'll see you guys next time, and bye.
Thanks, guys. Take care.